All right. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about why we're doing this podcast and what you will benefit from listening to this podcast. So we'll start with what are the top 3 takeaways that you, Justin, want our viewers to get from listening to Kingspiration?
You've done me a disservice by only allowing me to put down 3, Ethan. I've been working through my list and there's so many, but right at the top, I think for me is the ability to share lived experience and not only theory. I think that's a huge thing that I want our listeners to take away is the insights that we share are going to be, I'm going to say tried and tested, but they are learnings through actual experience rather than something that we've listened to on a podcast or something we've read in a book or something that we've just seen on a billboard. So it's learned experiences. Second would be how to become the best version of yourself for yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's key. It's something I've been working a lot on personally. Sometimes the water gets muddied and you're becoming the best version of yourself, but for others. And I'm really keen on the idea of becoming the best version of yourself for yourself. And that will by default allow you to show up the best version of yourself for others. So that's number 2 on my list. Yeah. Absolutely. And the third is you won't get shortcuts from us. I don't think there are shortcuts to success in life, but I think we can through our experience, we're going to be able to give you insights into how to not take the long way around. So there's a big difference, I think. There's a big difference between...
What's the difference between not a shortcut, but not taking the long way? Break that down for me.
So I want people to walk away from listening to an episode being able to take the route as the crow flies, but not necessarily try and shortcut steps. So what I mean by that is in life, I think we all want something immediately. We want to bypass the journey that is required in order just to get to the outcome. And that's not always possible. There's not a shortcut to success, but you can take steps to make sure that you're not going the long way around. You're not circumnavigating the globe in order to get to the house next door to you. There's another way to get there. But it doesn't mean that you have to dig a tunnel from your lounge into the lounge on the other side and try to find that kind of shortcut. It's out into the street around and in through the front door. So
you want to help people not do unnecessary hard work or unnecessary mistakes.
It's exactly that. It's exactly that. Let's get you there, but it's not going to be easy. But at the same time, let's not make it more difficult than it needs to be.
Got it. Cool. Well, I'll piggyback on that. So I do want to challenge you on one thing. I do think there's one shortcut in life, and that is to learn from the mistakes of others, but actually learn and apply to your life. Because if you repeat the mistakes that someone else made, I mean, if you're out here reading books and going to seminars and things and learning, but you're not actually applying the things, then you're not going to have that shortcut. But you can get those leaps ahead, those jumps ahead by learning information and actually implementing it into your life. And that's one thing that I hope to bring the audience here. And also like the latest actual tools, like not just theory. And I love what you said about theory, because we're not college professors here who haven't done anything. Like everything we talk about here will be stuff that we've actually done, and we'll bring in guests and experts who've actually done it, because there's nothing like real world experience. So just want to definitely hit on what you said about that. But we'll be bringing you the latest tools and life hacks, if you will, that we're using in our lives and that have worked for us. Freedom was going to teach you how to have personal freedom. For me, my North Star, my guiding light is personal freedom to do what I really want to do in life. And for you, whether that's traveling or, getting in the best shape of your life, or maybe you want to look for that love interest, your wife or soulmate, or maybe you just want to date more, whatever that is, but help you achieve more personal freedom to do that. And the third thing for me is you'll be learning like from my business mistakes that I've made over the past 20 years. So you can get that quote unquote shortcut, because I've lost millions of dollars over the years, also made millions of dollars in my business. So if I teach you those things and just vulnerably share those experiences in an authentic way, and you can learn from that and get not take the long road and the hard road. So a little similar to the things you said there too, Justin.
Very, very. I think we're going to have an episode that is dedicated to discussing the idea of a shortcut and an optimized route. So I think we can figure that out. But yeah, I love all those things that you've shared, Ethan. I mean, we are so closely aligned on that personal North Star around personal freedom, and having that as what I attach a lot of success to. So having the time and the ability to do, I want to say what you want, when you want, but the things that really give you energy, and not the things that don't necessarily drain you of energy. I think that's the key. There's always going to be times to do that. And yeah, my route to getting there has been an interesting one. At times I've had to show some serious resilience in my journey. So I'm based down in Cape Town, South Africa. Like Ethan, I'm an entrepreneur, not quite for 20 years yet. But yeah, I've done some interesting things, a lot of which just did not even get off the ground. And that's meant that I've had to come back again and again, come back for more. Some might call it bravery, some may call it stupidity. But it's a case of really having a clear idea of what it is that you want to ultimately achieve, and then having that doggedness about continuing to really strive to get to it.
Yeah. Well, we never really arrive, do we? I mean, life is a journey. So we're just sharing our steps and our missteps along the way here. And Justin brought up that he's in Cape Town. I'm, of course, in the U.S. in Atlanta. And Justin and I actually met. We're not related. We just happen to have the same surname. But we actually met during the pandemic. We took a speaking class together online for global speakers who speak to entrepreneurs around the world. It's a wonderful class, and Justin and I really hit it off, and we had a few personal calls just to kind of get to know each other. And during the course of those calls, we were like, hey, man, we should be recording this. This might actually help some other people and maybe share it. So that was the genesis of what has become the Kingspiration podcast.
Yeah, and a few people saying, you guys have got the same surname, you've got to do a podcast. It's got to be two Kings or something of that nature. So that's how Kingspiration was born.
Yep. So that's it for this episode, guys. Again, we hope to bring you tremendous value through this podcast. So make sure you tune in, listen to all the upcoming episodes.
I think one thing before we sign off on this, a little bit about who you are, Ethan, and I will do the same.
Oh yeah, definitely, because you'll get the benefit of seeing the world through our different perspectives, not just based on where we live, but I've been married 20 years. I have 2 kids, a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old. I live in the U.S., been an entrepreneur for 20 years. And Justin, what about you?
Yeah, so you are really, as the audience is going to get the insights from very different individuals. So I'm currently a bachelor. I was married for less than 3 years and got divorced 18 months ago. So that's been a very interesting period of my life, and a lot of learnings have come out of that as well. And yeah, just off the back of that, it's been a period of identifying who I am again, and starting fresh, and really having a very different lens at which I've looked at life and business in general. So my entrepreneurial journey has continued to evolve over the last 5 years as well, and partner in a wonderful business now, which is exciting. So yeah, man, I'm just looking so forward to sharing a lot of the nuggets that we both have, and seeing what value we can bring to people.
Well, there you have it. An American family guy and a South African bachelor here to bring you all the wisdom of the world.
Can't wait.
All right.
Can't wait.
All right. See you guys on the next episode.